How was LA?
LA was good, although I spent a lot of it sick, so it could have been better.
Oh shit.
Oh man. Did you get something like while you were there?
No, I just like my stomach. So every now and then my stomach just kind of acts up, like I have IBS. So like I'll eat
Ah,
something and it'll just set me in the bad mood. It's not food poisoning, but it's just like I
Yeah.
just feel like gross, and I had to keep using the washroom, and that's exactly what my body decided to do.
Sweet.
So
bad timing.
I was basically I spent like half the trip in pain. It sucked.
That
The
does
actual
suck.
trip
I'm
itself was
sorry.
great, but man, just kept having to go out of commission.
Well,
Bummer.
outside of the bathroom stuff, how did the actual event go? Indie Live, is that what it was called?
IndieLand.
Indie Land. Okay.
IndieLand went great. We raised, I think, in total over $100,000 for dementia research.
Nice.
Congrats.
Just fixing that. Uh, it went really good. It was a super busy event. Got to meet some cool people there. Got to meet, I think the biggest person I got to meet was AEW wrestler Adam Cole.
Oh, weird.
He-
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I know. He's a friend of Gerard, so he was there helping co-host. He was super
Nice.
nice.
Cool.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Got to chat with a bunch of devs, got to try out some games that weren't out and had just come out. Cool stuff.
Nice. That's great. I'm glad you had a good time. How was the flight scenarios?
Uh, the actual flights, for the most part, were fine. When I got into LA, I had to do a ride share to get there, like an Uber.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, but I hadn't been in LAX in like 4 years, so I didn't realize they had moved where you actually get your ride. So
Okay.
I kept trying to use my phone to be like, "Hey, all right, get someone to pick me up here," and it wouldn't let me. It was bringing up a weird pop-up that didn't say anything. So, sorry,
Okay.
buddy. So while that was going on, it just kept happening over and over. So I figured like I haven't used Uber in like 4 years. Maybe it's just not up to date. So I spent all this time like trying to get it to work. And then eventually I realized they had actually moved it to a new area. So I had to take a bus specifically to get to the area where you're supposed to use the ride share. So I did that. I took the bus to get there. And then the app was still giving me errors. So I switched from that to go to Lyft,
Yep.
ordered a Lyft ride. And in the time it took me to do all that, it burned most of my battery power. So I had 15% left when I ordered my ride. And with 2 minutes left before they showed up, my phone died.
Jesus.
So I
You don't
waited
have
a
like
couple.
a
No,
backup battery? You're
it
traveling. Backup
broke.
battery. Oh,
My backup battery broke because I hadn't been traveling. So I had to throw it
okay.
out. So I'm just like freaking out. I'm like, okay, if I wait a couple minutes, he'll show up. I remembered enough of his license plate and his car make that I would be able to find him. So
Oh
I
man.
sat there for a couple minutes. He didn't show up. So I found an area to charge my phone, but it did not charge my phone very fast. I think I got 1% after 5 minutes.
Okay.
I think it said to charge my phone in full would take 6 hours or something bonkers like that.
Fuck.
Okay.
Uh, so I got myself to like 2% power, turned on my phone to see if I could like, with it plugged in still, just like message them or see if they were there or where they were. Notice I had a voicemail call. Called it. My phone died making that call, so I didn't even get to hear what it was.
Okay.
And I'm freaking out again. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I can't just sit here. It's actually like really cold in LA for some reason. It was below like 9 degrees Celsius, so I had to like pull out my winter jacket and put it on.
Sure.
Because I'd been standing outside for like an hour plus at that point.
I'm actually kind of surprised that you packed a winter jacket.
Because it was snowing before we left,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
so I just threw it in my suitcase when I got to the
Okay.
airport. Uh, so did all that, freaking out with like, what am I do next? Then I realize I actually like remember the name of the hotel because I had to give it to customs. So I'm like, okay, I think I know the address. Like if I tell them this, maybe I can get a taxi.
Hmm.
So I find a
Old
taxi
school.
area, hop in that line. That line takes another like 20 minutes. Get in it. Taxi driver knows exactly where to go. We take off. I
Sure.
find a charger inside the taxi, charge my phone. It charges way faster there. Pull up my
Oh, okay.
phone. The first thing that pops up on my phone is a message from my Lyft driver saying like, "Hey, where are you? I'm here," and then them canceling the ride. And then I called the voicemail to see what that message I got was, and it was EB telling me that Tactics Ogre had shown up. It wasn't even my Lyft driver the entire time.
Wow.
Great. Well, I mean, did you pick up Tactics Ogre when you got back?
I
Nice.
did. It's
Okay.
right here.
Okay.
There it
Great.
is. Tactics Ogre Reborn.
Cool.
Great.
There
Yeah,
you go.
Nice. Oh, so, hey, sorry to hear that. That's a stressful.
back.
Now you know.
Your back went way better.
Yeah,
Your back went way better.
Cool.
check your backup batteries before you leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a
That's
new
awesome.
backup battery there because ironically the gift bag I got for hosting at the event gave me one.
Nice.
So.
Nice. Right on.
And
Very
what was I
cool.
going to say? The weird thing was most of the bad trip luck I had happened before I left because my flight got rescheduled twice. Like my flight there got rescheduled once and my flight back got rescheduled twice. I was
It's-
supposed to like leave at like 8 or 9 and like come back around like 3 or 4. Both of them got bumped hours. I didn't get home till like 11.
Yeah. It's been a nightmare at our airport. It's been an absolute fucking nightmare. Every flight has been canceled or pushed back, or it's been a hell week.
I am worried because I know I've got my I just booked my flights for MagFest and that's in January and I'm like
Okay.
there's no way they're going to stay in the same slot. There's no way.
Well, hopefully.
I feel like because obviously I've been doing like a lot of travel lately. I feel like half of mine get interrupted in some capacity for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. But we'll see. I just booked a flight down to LA in 2 weeks because I'm gonna go to the Game Awards and watch it live,
Nice.
Nice.
which is pretty cool. Yeah, I had the opportunity to do that, and I figured that would be fun. I've never done that live. You know, I always enjoy watching the live streams, but if I have this opportunity, why not? So I'm gonna do that in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
And that's a Thursday, so we're gonna have to figure out podcast stuff because I will not be available.
Yeah.
Paul, how's your week been?
It's been fine. I mean, Sumo's back, so that's kind of like anti-gaming stuff. I've been watching that, but mostly it's the games I've been playing has been taking up a lot of my time. I've been trying to kind of clear them out a little bit because Pokemon is out now, and I know I picked that up, so I'm gonna be trying that out.
You're the Pokemon fanatic, so
That's what they call me. Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just been gaming this week. Some good stuff has come out, and hopefully Pokemon is also good, which will be
well.
just
That's
another
what a
thing.
great transition because this happens to be a video game podcast.
Oh, hey, okay.
Yeah. This is the Top Down Perspective. It's November 17th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
I'm gonna go with John because you didn't fill out the doc. Did you play anything?
I played a bunch of stuff at the event, or I guess
Yeah,
I was
so
on
what'd
for
you play?
segments on that.
Or maybe unreleased stuff, some exciting things.
Let me get the entire list.
From what I
of
saw,
all
I
the
think it's a
segments
lot
I'm
of
on.
stuff that I've seen at some recent events. So I might
You-
have
You
I might have
probably
some
have.
shared opinions.
So
depending
here
on
were
what
here were all the segments I was on for. Sea of Stars
Oh.
by Sabotage. So this is the latest game from the Messenger devs.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's set in the Messenger universe, right?
It is set in the Messenger universe, but it very much doesn't look like it, if that makes sense. Like this looks
Okay.
like a cross between Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, and it looks fantastic. The sprite work is great. The gameplay looks really fast and lively. There's active time, like reaction button presses for extra damage, and there's also combo systems, so you can do like team attacks and tech attacks like Chrono Trigger. It looks fantastic. The music sounds great. The sprite work is great. I'm just so excited for it.
Have they said in any way how it connects to the Messenger? I haven't really been following any of
I
the
think they've
previews.
just said it's in universe. I
Okay.
asked them is there going to be a shopkeeper equivalent, the one that just likes to tell stories, and there is one. So
So I was
they actually
going to
asked me to
ask-
narrate it during the event. So
Oh, okay. I was going to ask, what do you guys think the connections are? Because my guess was going to be the same shopkeeper shows up, but
I hope
I
he
guess this is
does.
a different one.
Mm.
Or
Yeah.
maybe I forget if they said this is a prequel. I forget if they actually said that. But it'd be funny if this led to like them forcing or creating like the whole thing in the first place, like the whole band of protectors.
Yeah, I don't know. To be fair, I forget a lot of the story in Messenger. And I primarily just remember that shopkeeper is the best thing.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
Cult of the Lamb was played.
Sure.
Yeah,
So,
that game's great.
That's been out for a while. It's a good game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rift of the Necrodancer was played.
Okay.
That game's great.
Yeah, that looks like a fun rhythm spin-off game from the Crypt of the Necrodancer team and Crypt devs. It just looks like silly, awesome fun, and like the rhythm game seems to get really difficult. So I'm glad to see
I'm
like
sure.
it's not just like a super breeze.
Yeah. I also just really like that they were just like, we need to do some Rhythm Heaven in here because there's not enough Rhythm Heaven games out there.
True.
Yeah.
Let me see here. What else was I on for? They must have moved the schedule. Oh, they moved the schedule around a bit because I was on for Haunty as well.
think I've ever even heard of that.
Hauntii. This was like a monochrome style game about you being like a ghost that tries to escape purgatory and hell, but ascend with like an angel that they love, but they get sent back and they have to find their way around. You can possess items around there. You have to stay in the light because if you go in the darkness, like even bigger demons try to kill you.
Okay.
Like it was really artistic. It looked really cool.
Yeah, I've seen this somewhere on like a live stream or something, but yeah, very, very striking art style for sure.
Yeah. Then I was on for Lunistis, which is a game that came out right before the event. It's a 32-bit style 3D platformer, kind of like a Spyro the Dragon, but like you can just kind of free run. You have a double jump and a spin attack to give yourself a third jump. You can attack enemies. It just was like a nice flow state style game that just like looks like a PlayStation 1 era game. It was honestly really fun. And it's like $5 on Steam.
Very low poly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very PlayStation 1.
Looks great. It was like fun to play. Eternia, Summumaeterna. I'm just going off the schedule here. This is apparently a sequel slash prequel to another game that came out, and I forgot the name of that one. But this one's in early access currently, I believe, and it's a roguelike Metroidvania.
Okay.
Or I guess
Hey.
yeah, so like it's like a hack and slash. You can unlock different weapon types like scythes, swords, and pistols. There's like 4 different biomes you can go to. There's just like upgrades you can find. It was just really cool looking. It looked like pretty tight and pretty fun.
Okay.
I got to play Culebra and the Souls of Limbo, which was uh, it's the art style essentially of like Paper Mario, but themed around Day of the Dead.
Oh, this. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and also like basically the mechanics of Majora's Mask, where you have like a time loop you're in, and you need to figure out like what time of day someone is doing what. So you have to like solve puzzles based on the time of day and like what certain NPCs are doing.
Cool.
Okay.
That one was actually really cool. We got to like look around and like solve a bunch of puzzles. It was the same demo that's available now on Steam, but
Yeah.
it was just a fun fun game to play.
Sure.
This demo's been out for a while. Summer of
Yes.
last year.
Yeah.
I think they said currently like it's a 5-chapter game and they're currently working on chapter 3. But like
Oh,
it's a
okay.
it's a small team and I think they're only working on it part-time.
Sure.
Farewell North. Oh yes, this one. Okay. Farewell North was a game where you play as a border collie and you try to help your human while they are running around some isles in Scotland trying to kind of process the death of their mother and a bunch of other things about themselves.
All right,
It's a
this looks
very
like my shit now.
Yeah, this is a very artistic game where like it's all like monochrome, but like anytime the dog barks, like you bring color around you, so you have to keep like solving puzzles and try to cheer up your human so that more color surrounds you and kind of like colors up the islands and gives your human closure for everything they're working towards.
I'm here for games about feelings with a capital F.
Yep, you're gonna want that one. That one's yours. McPixel 3.
Hell
God,
yeah.
I was excited about that one. That fucking ruled. I mean, that's out now too, but it was like a day or two away from coming out at the time. That is fantastic. If you like
That is
McPixel 1, you'll love McPixel 3.
That I'm so excited. That's like very high on my like. I need to get to play this. It's like a budget title. It's like $10. I also just kind of love the idea that like it's been 10 years since the last McPixel, like which just sounds crazy.
Yeah, I know. I think they said like if you buy McPixel 3, they'll give you McPixel 1 as well. Because I think like right now it's on sale for like $1.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
that makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I
Pixel's
played
so
that
good.
at the
Like,
event, and I've played it here on like on stream and at home, and it's just mwah, it's perfect. Great, love it.
yeah, that first one was so funny. Like, just some really great jokes.
I am proud to say like this one still holds up too. This one has got some great bits in it as well.
Nice.
So I was on host for these, but I didn't play these. Ugly, which is a puzzle game akin to Braid, where you get the ability to use a mirror to split your reality. So you can make a mirror reflection of yourself and you can jump back and forth between their position. So that's how you solve puzzles in a 2D plane. Like you're like, okay, I need to get into this next room, but there's a wall. But if I use a mirror, there'll be a mirror version of myself walking on the other side of the mirror that I can jump into that body and then keep looking around the room and pick up keys and stuff like that.
Okay,
This
okay.
was like a super gorgeous puzzle game, and it very much reminded me
Oh,
of Braid.
yeah, this looks great. I love this
Yeah,
art style.
that
Very
one looked like
colorful.
it played really good, and like the puzzles in it were like they're pretty challenging by the end.
Nice.
Townseek looked like a really interesting like chill game. Like you were just I think you were like a bird in like an airship, and all you did was like it was a commerce game where you would pick up items in one area and sell them to another area, do side quests to open up areas of the world, explore this giant map. It just
Cool.
seemed like a nice, chill, like vibe kind of game, and that one looked really fun to do. And the last one, oh no, that's not the last one I was on for. Aka. That is, you are a red panda. You're a red panda who just survived a war, and you need to go find somewhere to kind of like get away from everyone and try to like calm down and like kill no more. So you go to this island where you meet up with a friend, where he gives you a house, and you have to like reclaim the land around you. Like, it plays a lot like a Harvest Moon, where you can pick up things, you can combine things to make them, you can do farming, you can
Okay, so
do
farming
side quests.
simulator.
It's
Okay.
a farming simulator-esque game, but also like there's like heavy story elements to it.
Another great art style. This looks really good.
Yeah, this one seemed
This
pretty good.
comes out
I think it was in the
yeah.
IndieLand Direct recently from Nintendo, or sorry, Indie World Direct from Nintendo.
This comes out in a month, just under a month.
Yeah. I came back on for Gestalt, Steam, and Cinder, which is a game I've been super excited about for a long time. And I found out on stage that my friends were actually the producers for the game now. So they're actually helping produce it. Jesse Cox, the completionist, and Dodger are all helping pay for this. And this is a gorgeous looking Metroidvania with like looks just fantastic. It's a steampunk style. Sprite work is phenomenal. The controls look really tight. It's got a detailed like a skill tree for unlocking new moves and stuff like that. It just looks really good. Paul, this one's definitely gonna be up your alley too,
Yeah,
if you haven't already looked at it.
I've been wanting to play this one.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Uh,
say Metroidvania, and Paul puts it on his wish list.
I mean,
It's
yeah, but
been
It's
on
like
my
not
wish
a lot
list.
of a lot of this hits the
Yeah.
notes for him. So
This
yeah,
this is some good looking pixel art for sure.
that's all the stuff that I was on or on stage for. So
Okay.
Cool.
yeah. And then
Nice.
yesterday I played a bunch of games on stream. I think I played Lunistis.
Okay.
Yep. I did a sponsored segment for Atari 50th, the anniversary
Oh,
celebration.
yeah.
We should talk about that. I played some of that tonight.
That
Played
actually
in
is
quotes.
really good.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
It's super interesting. The best way I could describe it is an interactive museum.
Yeah.
Okay.
And their kind of pitch, and I totally agree with this pitch, is instead of just like giving you like a whole collection of games that those come out all the time. First off, this is digital clips who are like the gold standard in terms of like making game collections, bringing old games back to modernize and whatnot.
Hmm.
Um, they, instead of just like giving you like a collection of games and like art, they have like cataloged and they have interviewed tons of people that were at Atari and put it on this really great timeline where you can like scroll through and see box art, manuals, press flyers, and their whole point was They don't want you to just know about the game. They want you to know the context that surrounded the game. And then on this timeline of information, they will then have like quick plays for you to like shortcut into the game so you can learn all about Pong and then you can play Pong after you've learned how it was made and released. Like, oh, it is such a fantastic presentation.
Yeah. If you want, you can skip all that and just play the games. And there are like 90 plus games on there, ranging
Wow.
from like the Atari 2600 and like all the different styles of that 5200, 7800, the Atari 800 computer, the Atari Lynx, the Atari Jaguar, and arcade. Like there's just a ton of games. There's even some that you can unlock if you play other games and go into certain areas. And there are, I think, 6 games that were made by Digital Eclipse additionally for this collection. They're all like modern takes on like a bunch of the games. Like you can play like a 4-player version of Combat that's also like a capture the flag game. You can play a mishmash of Asteroids, Lunar Lander, and Tempest 2000. There's just like a bunch of like cool extra stuff they put in there. Like that's just the game stuff. And then yeah, all the history stuff, all the interviews. It's basically like it's an interactive documentary is what it is. And it's awesome. For
Cool.
that, for what it is, it's great.
Yeah, I'm usually not one for like going through and like looking at concept art and stuff, but the way they just presented it and it made it so easily digestible, and the interviews are so well done. Like if you have an interest in game history or just kind of getting a deep dive in weird business things that it's also a really great company to do this for because Atari has had such highs and such lows in the industry, and the people they interviewed, they go into such detail with these people. Like they have the developer of Pong talking about Pong and stuff like that. They have Tim Schafer's on there talking about what Atari meant to like the Bay Area and stuff like that because that's where they started and all these things. Like it's so if you have any interest in video game history, you will just enjoy this regardless of if you're tied to Atari. Because like I'm not that tied to Atari. I pretty much never want to play Pong. Like I got to the part in Pong where you said, "Do you want to play Pong?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's Pong. I got 1 point and I'm good." But just watching these videos is fantastic.
Cool. Yeah.
Highly agreed.
The thing that kept me away is that price tag seemed high for what I assumed was just a collection. I was like, nah, fuck that.
No. Yeah, it's like $40 American. It might be like the best collection I've ever seen put together.
Yeah, I had to do a sponsored segment for it last night for like an hour, and I just kept going after it because I'm like, this is just so fucking interesting, dude. Like from a historical standpoint, it was
Yeah.
amazing.
It reminded me a lot of like when Xbox put out that like 5-part series about like their whole history and the highs and lows, and I just devoured that up. And there's so much more of it.
There goes that. Hi. I also played, as Bagel is now here to demonstrate, Garfield Lasagna Party.
Okay.
Okay. Is that a new game?
That is a new game. It came out last week. It is Garfield Mario Party.
Okay.
It came out the same week as Sonic Frontiers and God of War.
Yes. It came out Friday. It came out the same day as like Tactics Ogre and everything.
So how's the Lasagna Party?
Actually not that bad, surprisingly. As someone who plays Mario Party on the regular, not that bad. However, there's only one. Of course, it's called Lasagna Party.
Well, that could mean anything. I don't. What is that? Like what? I had lasagna for dinner. I could have called it a lasagna party,
but you didn't. So this is better than what you had for dinner.
Maybe I don't know. I have yet to hear. There's only one board. I think John.
There's only one board. There's only 32 mini games. So the longest length of a game you can set is 32 turns. That way you play every mini game. It's the mini games are actually like decent. It's you can tell it's a low budget game by comparison of say a Mario Party, but like it's not that bad. The downside is there's no online because of course there's not.
Yeah.
So it's local only, but like it ran well. The animations for the game make it take a little bit too long. I think someone said a streamer had done a full length game, a 32 turn game, and it took 3+ hours. And I think our 10-turn game took like 45 minutes ish. So,
Sure.
But like,
what are these? Like, is this? It's like because Garfield has to sit there and like dance or something. Like, what are
no,
you
it's just
watching?
you roll the dice, and when you roll the dice, everyone can choose to mess with your roll. Like if they have special items, they can activate them, or they can spend their like currency to just
Okay.
like reduce your roll length.
How much like Mario Party bullshit is in this?
There's definitely some random chance.
Okay.
But like it's as someone who's played a lot of Mario Party, it's all right. Like it's good for like a play it once and then you don't have to ever play it again kind of deal.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Maybe twice if you're feeling really good, but yeah, like it's definitely like a pop it out, play a couple games, and then you're golden.
What's the best mini game?
Uh, I guess that's one issue is some of the mini games take way too long. There was one mini game that was almost 2 minutes long. It was just a rhythm game, like Guitar Hero style. Like a note comes down, you press the corresponding button. That's it. 2 minutes of that.
Okay. I mean, in Guitar Hero, I do like 5 minutes of that. I
Yeah,
have a
but
great
like,
time.
but usually then you don't go to a board game and then play another mini game. Usually it's just the same thing repeated.
It's true.
What else did I play on that night? I played McPixel 3, and I think that was pretty much it for what I played yesterday. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's pretty much all I've been playing, because otherwise I was playing Picross on the trip because I needed something short and quick, and when I got there, I did not play any games other than at the
Yeah,
event.
that makes sense.
At the event.
Unless
Nice.
you want to
Did you
count,
do
we went to an
anything-
arcade and played Time Crisis 5 in full. That's about it.
Ooh, okay. Time Crisis is
I was
pretty
the
dope.
best. Did you do anything outside of the event, like LA?
Not really. I went to go visit some friends, and we met up at around 1. Hadn't met them in person, so I got to hang out with them there for the first time. That was about it. I was
Go to the beach?
otherwise, nah. I was
Oh.
otherwise at the event or the event area, which was on Hollywood Boulevard. So like, there's not much like to do there other than just walk around Hollywood Boulevard. And on the last day, we were supposed to go to Universal Studios, but we all decided to just sit in the hotel and chat. So what was going to be like a trip to Universal Studios turned into like 7 hours of just sitting in the lobby and chatting.
Okay.
All right. Well, cool. Paul, how about you? What have you been playing?
I've been going through the God of War and the Sonic Frontiers, man. The big games I'm trying to get through. They're all too long.
Big game.
I played through the full, like I completed the first island of Sonic Frontiers. I really like that game. I think that game is super fun.
Frontiers is really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super fun. It's not going to blow anybody's socks off, and it's not like amazing, but I'm having a pretty good time with it. It's a different change of pace.
It's a flow state game. It's just like
totally
fun,
is.
just going around and do stuff.
I still think the worst part of that game is when you're doing just like the Sonic run sections, and even then, some of those are fine. Like some are worse than others, but I like the open world. I think moving around that open world is super fun and
So
unlocking.
you're saying the worst part is when it turns into like a more traditional Sonic game?
Honestly, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. I still like the Sonic stages, but I am of the same mindset of like the open world exploration is the best part of that game, hands down.
You know why? It's because you feel good moving around the open world and doing stuff and controlling the camera and all that stuff. And then you feel constrained when you go into one of those levels and you kind of have a checklist of things you need to do. So there's weirdly like a pressure that like, oh, now I have to do objectives, when before it's like I'm doing objectives just kind of at my own pace and like going around this island or whatever. I don't know. It's a weird switch.
You're saying Sonic deserves to be fast, but he's being held back?
Like kind of, yeah, because those are the stages where you will probably have to play them a few times to like learn how to get the best time, which is one of the things you need to for completion or whatever. I don't even know if you get anything for completing all of them. I'm just doing it because that's what I do, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're having fun, sure.
And still, those like boss fights or mini boss fights, they're fucking dope. They're really fun. They're really good.
Okay.
Just, yeah, I don't know, man. That game's hitting the right notes. And, yeah, I guess I shouldn't be surprised about it, but I am. I'm a little surprised that I'm having as much fun in it as I am.
I think you should be surprised. It's a Sonic game.
There's a fishing mini game. I spent just like an hour fishing. That was kind of cool.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I've been so curious, and on Black Friday it's going like half price, so that might be I might dip my toes in for $30.
yeah, I think $30 is a steal for this. I definitely think this is worth $30. I feel fine paying the full price for it. So,
Well, that's why I can't really trust your opinion if you're fine paying the full price for it. So
that's fair. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I really like it. I think it's very, very good. But
Nice.
then there's God of War, which came out like almost the same day within a 24-hour span. And that's just a game I've been waiting for 4 years. And it's like firing on all cylinders and like tickling my brain with like being back in that world and doing the God of War things with more cool story beats and
boy,
big set pieces. And yeah, that game
dude,
is
that
just
whale.
fantastic. Yeah.
That
whale.
was awesome. That whale, I was not expecting that. That was so cool.
That was cool, and the story behind why that whale is there sucks and kind of makes you hate one of the characters a little more, even though he's like repentant. Yeah, no, that's just great writing and just great set pieces. That game is everything I wanted in a sequel to one of my favorite games of all time. It's so good. That game seems like it's going to take for fucking ever to get through, though, because every area is huge and those side quests are really good. So I'm stoked.
That's what I've heard. I've heard it's long. I've heard the side quests are like meaningful and stuff. And yeah,
I'm stoked. It's been a great week to be a gamer, as they say. It's been a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only put a few more hours into it. I wish I had gotten more, but more stuff came out this week that I was like, I'm gonna try and just like get these done.
Like what, Sean? What have you been playing?
Oh, hey, let me tell you all about Somerville, the game from Jump Ship, which is a small team that includes the ex-CEO of Playdead Studios, Playdead making Limbo and Inside.
Right.
This is one of those. It's
okay.
It's a Limbo like. It's an Inside like, but
Okay.
a little bit bigger. Instead of just walking completely like side scrolling, there is some like Z-axis movement. You can kind of walk around a space. I think this game is cooler on paper than it is in execution.
That's too bad.
To be fair, the game's 4, maybe 5 hours long, so it is not that annoying. But because you have a more of an area to explore, you are naturally going to explore that area, and there is nothing to find there ever. So you're you do kind of end up getting to some dead ends that your character, who moves very slowly for like kind of like a thematic reason. These games are paced very specific due to their like fixed camera and just kind of the nature of these like gloomy worlds. Your character moves pretty slow, so if you spend time like walking to this corner thinking, oh, I think there's a path here, and then you find out there's not, it's like, well, I guess I'm gonna walk for 30 seconds back to the main path. I got stuck a few times and was just like, how was I supposed to know I was able to like walk around this wall? Like there was completely like it was blocked. It looked totally blocked visually. There's just some issues like that which can get pretty frustrating. I also do find the like middle chunk of it drags for a while. There's this like mine shaft underground area that just kind of goes on for a bit too long. The second half, it really kind of picks up the pace in terms of what's going on. I don't want to really spoil it.
Yeah.
But you actually do get some like powers that kind of make some of the puzzle solving you're doing pretty interesting. It's not just you are trying to get from point A to point B. Some kind of cool stuff happens. The premise, for those who don't know, is there's kind of this apocalyptic event where the world was like invaded by aliens, and your character gets, it seems like you die and then you come back to life some period of time later, and you're kind of picking up the pieces of what's going on to the world now. Super cool setting. Like it looks really engaging. It looks very similar to Inside specifically, because Limbo was kind of its own little art style.
Sure.
So like it was gripping to me, which just kind of heightened the like every time I was getting stuck because of like a weird visual, or like the game kind of breaking its own rules of like, I was able to climb up a wall of this height later on, or like earlier, but you're not letting me do it this time just because you want me to do something else. Like there's issues with that. So there's some execution problems on the vision. But if you like Limbo, if you like Inside, you'll definitely enjoy this one. And it is a short experience. Again, it's like 4 or 5 hours. It's on Game Pass.
Okay.
So it's definitely like a tonal and a mood piece. You're definitely going here because you like just being in like this weird world they've set up.
Sure.
In terms of weird worlds they've set up, I'm playing Pentiment, which is one of the like most unique kind of strange games I've played in a while. This is from Obsidian,
Yes.
for starters. It is a point and click adventure game set in like the Roman Catholic era. It's like 1500s. The art style looks like old like manuscripts, like drawings you would see in the edges of old textbooks. The art style is very striking and quite unique. And again, it is a point and click adventure game, highly kind of visual novel based, and it's Obsidian though. So there are some like RPG mechanics in terms of like how like it's a lot of the kind of the telltale like they'll remember you said this and then you're going to get to a point where they're going to do a check and they even show you like here's 5 instances you talked to this person and these ones were positive, these were negative, so you failed the pass, this person does not like you, no, you don't get to get whatever they were offering, yada yada. It's cool. I will say it's a bit slow. It's a murder mystery. I just got to like the character getting murdered. I'm like 3-4 hours in. And after that point, it was just like walking around and talking to people. This game's a lot bigger than you would expect. Like there is a map. You are walking around like a city, going to different areas and chatting to people. It is not kind of a small scale point and click adventure where there's only like a couple areas to go check out. You're going in rooms, you're talking to brand new people, not knowing if they're going to relate to stuff. There's a bunch going on there. So it's also priced pretty appropriately. I think this is a $20 game or
Okay.
on Game Pass. The reviews for this thing are like out of this world. Like it was getting like 9s and 10s across the board when the review scores came out, which was like the day before it launched. So I was pretty excited.
Yeah, I was
I don't know
seeing
if-
that.
So that's kind of what's getting me really curious is from what I've played so far, I'm finding it a bit slow and really dense because they're name dropping people. You play as an artist that works in the scriptorium of the Catholic Church and you're working on your masterpiece and there's a lot of like religious changes going on around you and you're speaking to other people who work in the scriptorium and you know the Catholic Church is most in power but they're already talking about things getting reformed and there's people fighting back against that, yada yada yada. So I'm kind of really curious, like the reviews were nuts for this game. I haven't quite seen that or felt that myself, but I'm assuming I'm going to get to that point because it almost seemed unanimous in how excited people were for this game, at least the critics that I saw the review scores for. So I'm very curious to keep playing it. And it is just such a unique looking game, so there's not quite much like it. So I'm going to keep playing that. That's Pentiment. Again, that's on Game Pass if people are interested.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some news.
Okay.
What do I got here first? Oh, COD. Here's a quick update. COD is about to make its own Rocket League style mode called CODball.
What?
It's getting added to Call of Duty this month.
Sure. They're making
I
their
just
own
thought this was-
Tarkov mode, so why not?
I just thought this was weird. CODball. Sure, it's going to be Modern Warfare 2 in their upcoming season, I guess. And yeah, it's going to be Rocket League. Why not?
I'll try
That's
that.
a weird thing to do.
Why not?
There you go. Crystal Dynamics has come out. This is another just quick update. They have said, quote, "We have heard fans loudly and clearly after 100,000 plus responses to a recent survey about a potential Legacy of Kain revival."
Yep. That
So
series has
I
a
bring it
cult
to you too.
following that's huge. So, sure.
Bring it to you guys. Do you want a new Legacy of Kain?
Yeah, because those
I've never
original
played
games
any
are
of them.
unplayable. Yeah.
John, you said you haven't played them?
No.
I'm with you. My experience with Legacy of Kain begins and ends at seeing magazine ads for it and being like, that guy looks cool as a 12-year-old.
Sure. Yeah.
But Paul, you want a new one? You have more experience than us, it sounds like.
I mean, yeah, they're fine. I don't understand the fervor some people have. I feel like it's one of those things that these people grew up with that game or whatever, so they just have a really strong love for it. But those old games they feel bad to play. Kind of the same way The Witcher feels bad, even though The Witcher 1 feels really bad. remake those so new generations can enjoy them for sure. I don't know why you
Well,
wouldn't.
so here's the question for you then: do you want a remake? Do you want a brand new one?
Remake. I think it's been long
Okay.
enough and not in. It's still, I think, I mean, only one of us has even like touched these games out of the three of us. Like, it still has a cult following. I
That's
think,
probably the cheaper way to do it, is do a remake to kind of
yeah,
generate buzz, get some new people in there, and then they can warrant, like, look at all these players, let's make a new one
yeah,
and we'll get so much more.
or to see if there actually is like any love for that, or if it's just people spouting nostalgia on the internet, which a lot of times it is.
Just it's one dude and 900,000 bots.
That's how it happens, man. That's how it happens.
Another small update here. Hopu Games, the developers behind Risk of Rain 2, have been fully acquired by Gearbox. Gearbox was actually publishing Risk of Rain 2, so it's not terribly crazy that this happened. But hey, good for them. I hope they get to keep making more updates to Risk of Rain 2.
Totally.
This next one's pretty crazy. So if you listened to the show last week, and to update John, we talked about the Mick Goron id Software drama
Yeah.
that's going on. Bethesda has come out and said, and actually, so the way where we kind of landed on it was Mick Goron put out this huge 15,000 word book, basically, on why the statement from 2 years ago, the Reddit post from 2 years ago, was wrong. And it almost seemed like Mick Goron had to be telling the truth because he has so much evidence and his argument is so strong here. Well, Bethesda has come out and said, no, that's a lie. We're ready to fight.
Yeah, this is interesting.
This is interesting because so it's like it's hard to know who's telling the truth. It just seemed like Mick Goron probably was, because look at how much evidence he has. So I am so curious how Bethesda goes, but look at the evidence we have. We feel strongly enough that we can counter all of that.
Yeah. I actually don't know what to think about this, because some of the, no matter what they have, there is irrefutable fact that he like got fucked on some things. Like, he posted receipts for a lot of that shit. So they could say like, yeah, but he also was a dick. Like, that doesn't matter. He proved that you fucked him over in like a bunch of ways. So like, I don't care what you have to say.
Let me read this one part from Bethesda's statement that they put out on Twitter. We are aware of all the details and history in this matter and unequivocally support Marty, Chad, and the team at id Software. We reject the distortion of the truth and selective presentation of incomplete facts. We stand ready with full and complete documented evidence to disclose in an appropriate venue as needed.
Yeah, they mean court. They're
Sure, they
lawyering
mean
up.
court.
Yeah.
I am so curious, like, I wonder if we actually are going to get like a bigger document where they are going to like cross out some of Mick Gordon's things and be like, this is incorrect because of these three. Like, holy
Yeah.
smokes!
No, this could
I
definitely
don't think
get like very messy for
I
a
don't
lot of
think we're going to
people.
get that kind of detail. It was pretty surprising that we got all of Mick Gordon's detail. That's not a common thing we get in these scenarios, but like,
Yeah.
there's a great book to be written about this. Like, where's Jason Schreier? Is he getting in contact with the people? Is he going to write a book about this in 10 years? Like, I want to read that.
100% there is somebody trying to collect statements right now from everybody they know.
Hopefully. This, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is
We
blowing
just
up
got to
in a
keep
big
watching.
way.
Yeah. Here's a small update. Remedy has come out and formally announced Control 2.
Good. Yeah, give me more of that world.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
This is previously, it was known as Project, I think it was Heron, back when they announced like 5 things they have going on. Remedy doing a lot. If you remember, Remedy had announced Alan Wake 2,
Yep.
the multiplayer game in the Control universe, Project Heron, which is Control 2, and they're doing that Max Payne stuff in partnership with Rockstar.
Right. Yep.
They have a lot going on. So they haven't pretty much no details about what Control 2 is. They just said they're co-publishing it with 505 Games, which same thing as before. for current gen consoles and PC. It has a budget of 50 million euros. It's in the concept stage. I'm ready to give them $60, $70. Like, I'm in. Like, Control is so good.
I am
like,
too. Yep.
Absolutely. Here's a question for you then, Paul. Do you care if Jessie's the main character again?
Do I care? No, I don't. I think it would be cool to see her as like, I don't know, a cameo role or something, since she's the director or whatever.
Yeah. I think it's like they've established the Control universe now. Now I just want like X-Files. I just want like Monster of the Week stuff. I would almost even take like an episodic thing of like, here's another weird situation where a team had to go in and get this weird item, and it's like a 3-hour game where they're trying to like stop the item from destroying the small town to bring it back to the Control office.
I am part of the vocal majority that says the side stuff dealing with like the items or whatever in that game was better than the main story stuff by a long shot, so I'm definitely in with them doing that.
There's the fridge that the guy is not allowed to stop looking at or it'll like kill people.
Yeah, it's great.
So great. Like, oh my god, Control is so good, man.
Yep.
All right. Paul, right up your alley, huge Sonic fan.
Yep.
Yuji Naka was arrested in Japan.
That tracks. Yep.
For insider trading.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Okay. This happened within 24 hours.
Okay.
I guess an employee at Square Enix alongside him was also arrested. I don't know. This is a developing project, or developing story, I should say. But yeah, there you go. Yuji Naka currently arrested for insider trading. Makes you think twice about liking Sonic Frontiers, right?
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
I don't know. Whatever. All right. It's a moment of the show that everyone's been waiting for. Game Awards came out. Do you guys want to predict some Game Awards?
Oh my god.
Oh god.
I actually wasn't ready for this. Hold on.
We don't have to if you guys are not interested. We can just do some of the categories. We can do whatever you want.
Let me get a notepad open.
Yeah, we're gonna need to write these down.
Like, for example, I'm totally fine if you want to skip all the esports stuff.
Hey, me too.
I mean, yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm trying to get into where we are.
Okay, why don't we do it from bottom to top, starting with the most anticipated game? We'll skip everything esports related.
Bottom to top. Okay, I went to the nominees thing, so I got to return to the main site, I guess, or something.
If you click nominees, you just scroll down. You click view all categories.
Yeah, and then it just brings me to
it brings up a bunch of cubes.
Squares. Yeah.
Yeah. So then click most anticipated game.
Oh, I see. We're starting from there and then going up. Okay. Gotcha.
Going up to the game of the year.
Most anticipated. Okay.
Okay, and okay, so we're predicting what we think is going to win, right? Not what we want to win.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah,
I think that makes the most sense, right?
We should make that distinction this time for sure. Yeah, because I always go with what I want.
You can say that. You're welcome to like say what you would be voting for.
But what I'm writing down is the one that we think.
That you think is going to win. But you're predicting it, right?
Okay. Yeah. Got you.
All right. Here's the nominees. Most anticipated game. Theoretically, these games are coming out in 2023. Some of these games were on the list last year as well.
Great.
Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, okay, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, and Tears of the Kingdom.
It's Tears of the Kingdom.
It's Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, we're done.
This next category, so Paul, if you're following along, just click previous category. Go the correct direction. Best adaptation. This one's, I think, is a pretty interesting one.
Oh, yeah, okay. This is kind of a cool one.
Yeah, so Arcane, League of Legends, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, The Cuphead Show, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and the Uncharted movie.
This is actually kind of hard.
Yeah, I don't know, because part of me is like, Arcane was super popular, but also like Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is here.
I think Arcane takes it.
I'm going to say Sonic 2.
Okay.
See? My personal favorite is Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I recommend that show.
I started watching it. It's fucking amazing. That show is great.
It's very enjoyable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The Game Awards seems like the one where they could even get like Ben Schwartz to come out and do something.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it's between Arcane and Sonic. I'm gonna go Arcane. I just have a gut feeling.
All right. Best debut indie. So this is kind of there's best debut indie and there's also best indie.
Great. Why not?
So best debut indie is for the best debut game created by a new independent studio. We have Neon White, Norco, Stray, Tunic, and Vampire Survivors.
I think the way people have been talking about Vampire Survivors, myself included, I think it's that.
I wish I could give it to Neon White because that game like deserves so much more than it's gonna get. Also, just like shout outs to Norco for making it on this list. Like,
sure.
Good for you. You're not gonna win it, but you won just by being on the list. I don't see how Vampire Survivors doesn't win this.
That's what I think too. Yeah.
Stray and Tunic had a lot of hype, but like Vampire Survivors still, yeah, I think it's Vampire Survivors.
I love Tunic. I love Neon White.
I think
Vampire Survivors is on this list.
I think Vampire Survivors or Tunic in my mind were the ones, and I think Vampire Survivors edges it out.
Which one did you pick, John?
Vampire Survivors.
Vampire Survivors.
Ooh.
Content Creator of the Year. This is kind of a fun category.
Oh, weird. Okay.
We have Carl Jacobs, Ludwig, Nibelian, Nobrew, and QT Cinderella. I don't know anyone here besides Nibelian.
I don't know Nobrew. I know everyone else.
I know Nibelian. A lot of people are rooting for Nibelian because they just retired from doing this. So I think there's going to be an underground campaign to help them win. So that's my vote.
That's my vote too. It just seems it's interesting because like we don't even know who this person is. I don't know anything about this person.
I think people vote Ludwig.
Okay. Best multiplayer.
I agree
Modern
with you guys.
Warfare
It should be
2.
Nibelian though. So go on.
Best multiplayer. Modern Warfare 2, Multiversus, Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, and TMNT Shredder's Revenge.
Okay.
I mean, the multiplayer in that was fun though.
Yeah,
For sure. I do agree with you though. I think it is like
it's laughable.
TMNT, you're not going to
It
win.
is weird
but
to see on this list.
Yeah.
You should feel like you won for being nominated. I'm not sure though. This is kind of hard because a lot of these other ones were like very popular when they came out.
Yeah.
From what I understand, this Modern Warfare 2 was like the biggest Call of Duty ever.
It is. Yeah, people actually really love this game.
I'm thinking it's Call of Duty or Multiversus, so I'm going to go with Call of Duty.
Okay.
I'm going to go Call of Duty as well, just because of how popular it's been. I feel like Overwatch 2 could have done it, but with all the like bad press it got when it first launched, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Overwatch 2.
Wow. Okay.
I
could see an argument for like anything but Overwatch 2.
It's probably no. A lot of people that play Overwatch 2 like went back to it and fell in love with that game for some reason.
Myself included. I've been playing a ton of it.
Okay, fair. Next category.
All right, best sports racing. You know,
Right.
the most normal of the categories. We have F1 22, FIFA 23, NBA 2K23, Gran Turismo 7, and Ollie Ollie World.
FIFA.
What? FIFA.
Yeah, I'm saying FIFA.
Yeah, it's probably FIFA. You know what? I'm gonna say Gran Turismo 7.
Okay.
No, don't, because
do
that
it.
got a lot of hate for the microtransaction bullshit it got. I think that's like a big no.
Same with NBA, honestly.
I can't. I think it's so funny that like Ollie Ollie World is here. It's like a platformer that's about skateboarding.
All right.
All right, best sim strategy.
Okay.
Dune Spice Wars. Didn't that come out today?
Probably. It's recent.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I know it got added to Game Pass today in game preview format. We got Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Total War Warhammer 3, 2 Point Campus, and Victoria 3. Honestly, I have no idea.
I'm going to say Mario and Rabbids.
Yeah, that's probably a safe bet. I don't think it's 2 Point, and I don't think it's Total War.
It could be Victoria 3.
That
but
yeah,
I'm
people have
leaning
been
Mario and
raving
Rabbids.
about Victoria 3.
Are people talking about Victoria 3?
Yeah, people that are into it's a Paradox game, and they're like they have crazy people playing those that vote for this shit.
Okay, you know what? I'll just say Victoria 3. I'll go with your argument. Sure.
Okay, I'll put you Victoria, John Mario. I'll do Mario and Rabbids too. I think the Nintendo Kitties will come out for it.
Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nintendo Kitties, we have the Nintendo category next for Best Family Game.
Cool.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Mario and Rabbids, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Splatoon 3.
Splatoon 3, but it could be Kirby.
I was going to say Splatoon 3, but I've been hearing a lot of people really into this Star Wars game.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Skywalker Saga got some great reviews.
I'm going to say
Great
Splatoon
buzz.
3. That was just my gut feeling.
I'm going to say Splatoon 3.
Okay.
Best Fighting. ENF Duel, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, The King of Fighters 15 Multiverses, and Sifu? Which makes me think, did not enough fighting games come out this year, so they put Sifu in there?
I'm thinking that's why. Multiverses is probably my.
That's what I was gonna guess.
Pick.
It's the only one of these I heard about.
I've heard about all of these, but yeah,
I heard some talk about DNF Duel, but like it was more of a kind of this is a fun gimmick for a week, and then everybody stopped playing it. Yeah, I'll go Multiverses as well.
All right, we have Best Role-Playing Game. Elden Ring, Live Alive, Pokemon Legends, Triangle Strategy, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Oh my god.
In a year that Elden Ring came out, it's probably Elden Ring.
So, yeah, the way I'm kind of going into a lot of these categories is if Elden Ring is in the category, it wins the category. But maybe they'll give RPG to Xenoblade Chronicles 3 this once.
That's what I'm thinking, is that isn't Xenoblade like also fucking stupidly huge? I'm not in that circle where people I follow don't care about Xenoblade, so I don't know, but I hear big things about.
Those who like the series say this is the best one.
Yeah, people are really enjoying this one.
So yeah.
I'm gonna say
it's
Elden
possible,
Ring.
but I'm sticking with Elden Ring because it's just Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Elden Ring.
Yeah. Okay.
Best Action Adventure. Plague Tale Requiem, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Tunic. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these categories that Stray's in there, I do not feel Stray is that strong a game.
Agreed. I like Stray. It shouldn't be in contention with some of these games.
It got so much attention, and it's almost a little undeserved in terms of the quality of that game.
No, Sony paid for it to be there. What do you mean it's undeserved? Money was spent.
Well, I just mean like on Twitter when people went nuts for that game.
It has a cat. Are you kidding me? Of course.
God of War is my guess.
I'm having a hard time with this one because I want to say God of War. I see Horizon winning it too. Like either one of those, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
I could see Tunic being a surprise win here, but I'm thinking it's God of War.
Yeah, I have to go God of War as well.
This is kind of similarly to Stray. Anytime I see a Plague Tale there, I'm like, I'm glad people actually know about this game. This thing's not winning any categories. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Probably, anyway.
Best Action Game. Bayonetta 3, Modern Warfare 2, Neon White, Sifu, and Shredder's Revenge.
This is actually a tough one.
Yep.
This is hard. So I'm just trying to see how they differentiate. This is the best game in the action genre focused primarily on combat.
If they're holding true to that,
Action
Neon
Adventure
White doesn't count because it's mostly platforming.
I guess. I mean, yeah, I could see the argument because like everything you do is like you're shooting a gun.
Yeah, to jump higher. Like that's it's weird.
You also have to kill the demons though.
Yeah.
You do have to kill everything in the map.
Yeah, that's true.
This one, like, Sifu is a great choice for this one, since that's like a martial arts game. I guess the differentiation with action adventure is combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. I see.
I'm torn on this one. I think even though that controversy happened with the voice actress, I think it's still Bayonetta 3. But I
Okay.
would love to see Sifu or Shredder's Revenge take it.
I can't see Shredder's Revenge taking it.
I
just
could
can't.
see Sifu taking it. I'll say Sifu.
I could almost see Sifu. I'm just gonna say Neon White. I don't even
Okay.
know, because I just don't feel strongly enough about any of them. So I'm just
Sure.
gonna say Neon White.
Yeah, fair.
Where did
Okay.
you land, John? Bayonetta?
I land on Bayo.
Okay.
Best VR AR.
After the Fall, Among Us, Bone Lab, Moss Book 2, and Red Matter 2. I have no idea.
No idea. I heard good things about Among Us VR.
Yeah, I'll just guess Among Us, because it's Among Us.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Innovation in accessibility. As Dusk Falls, God of War Ragnarok, Return to Monkey Island, The Last of Us Part 1, and The Quarry.
I heard Ragnarok has some amazing things because it's the same guys who worked on The Last of Us.
It's very good. Yep.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, I had heard Ragnarok was very good, and they were trying to actually mimic. I had heard Forbidden West, so I was kind of surprised that that's not on here. I don't have anything to lean back. I haven't heard anything about Dusk Falls, Return to Monkey Island, and The Quarry. And I played The Quarry and Dusk Falls, and I don't remember looking at the accessibility that much.
The
Naughty
Quarry
Dog is
does
good with
have
their
the
accessibility
movie
too.
mode where you basically don't have to do anything.
The ultimate in accessibility, we will just play it for you.
Yeah, kinda. I'm saying God of War myself.
God of War.
God of War.
Okay.
Best community support, sponsored by Discord.
Okay.
Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky.
Isn't this just 14 by default?
Fortnite, you mean? Oh no, sorry, Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Fortnite is pretty community supported.
No Man's Sky. Oh, yeah. Community supported. Okay. We all agree it's probably not Destiny 2, right?
Yeah.
Out of these ones.
And I don't think it's Apex. I do think it's one of the three we've already said. I do, and I personally feel like No Man's Sky is the weakest of the three.
I'm going 14.
Yeah, I think it's 14 as well.
I'm going Fortnite.
Okay.
Best mobile game. This one's pretty interesting. Apex Legends Mobile, Diablo Immortal, Genshin Impact, Marvel Snap, and Tower of Fantasy.
Ooh.
Which I have never even heard of Tower of Fantasy.
I've heard a lot of buzz in Tower Fantasy, but I'm pretty sure it's a gacha game.
Tower of Fantasy is Genshin. So
okay,
it's that crowd.
Okay. Marvel Snap, I've been hearing everyone who's played Marvel Snap that I've heard of recently loves it. So
it's fantastic. Like if it was my vote would be Marvel Snap. Genshin just seems like such a juggernaut in this category, though.
I'll say Marvel Snap.
Okay.
Diablo was also very good, but the monetization turned a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Tower of Fantasy.
Wow. Okay. Well, then I'll say Genshin Impact. We'll split the vote.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Best indie. So this is for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher space. It doesn't have to be a new team. Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, Sifu, Stray, and Tunic.
That's a tough list.
I think it's Tunic.
When I think of this, and if they're going for game outside the traditional public, like the most unique thing, I feel like the unique ones here are Neon White and Tunic.
I'm going to go off of what's currently still in popular zeitgeist, and I think it's Cult of the Lamb.
Okay.
Wow, okay. I'm going to give it to Tunic.
Yeah, I think it's
I think Tunic will probably win it, but I'm voting Cult of the Lamb.
Okay.
Best ongoing, which I always don't see the difference between this and community support. But the same
It
games we
is
mentioned,
almost the
except
same
it's-
list, except swap No Man's Sky for Genshin.
Yes,
Final Fantasy 14, still my vote.
I'll still give it to Fortnite.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this one a Fortnite.
All right, games for impact. I guess there's 6 nominees for each one. A Memoir Blue, As Dusk Falls, Citizen Sleeper, Endling, Extinction is Forever, Hindsight, and I Was a Teenage Exocolonist.
I'm not familiar with any of these except for As Dusk Falls.
I'm gonna say Citizen Sleeper.
I'm gonna say Citizen Sleeper. I'm gonna cross my fingers so hard and hope that game deserves it.
I'm gonna say As Dusk Falls because it's the only one I know on the list.
Okay.
As Dusk Falls is quite fun. Best Performance. This is such a great category always. We have Ashley Birch in Horizon Forbidden West, Charlotte McBurney in A Plague Tale Requiem, Christopher Judge in God of War Ragnarok, Anon Gage in Immortality, and Sunny Suljic in God of War Ragnarok. So it's basically the 2 main characters in God
I'm
of
gonna
War.
go for Christopher Judge because I love that boy in Stargate SG-1.
Same.
Yeah, it almost feels like usually this is the Ashley Birch category. I could see Christopher Judge taking it. I think Immortality is just happy to be there.
Yeah.
Thank you for including me. As much as I love that game, I'll give it to Christopher Judge. Best audio design: Modern Warfare 2, Elden Ring, God of War, Gran Turismo, Forbidden West.
The fact that Hellsinger's not on here just makes me want to die. I'm so mad.
I think that's in soundtrack, so I think we
That
are going to
makes
get to
sense.
that.
Okay, good.
I don't know. Elden Ring. It's on the list.
Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning the same, but if you ask me to name a song from the game, I guess that's not quite the category.
Oh, I'll give you a song
Right,
from the game.
Boom!
Boom!
Brr, brr. Brr, brr.
To be fair,
Yeah.
that title music is actually epic as fuck, but it's ridiculous.
We're all picking Elden Ring then?
Yeah, I'll go Elden Ring.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, best score and music: Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War, Metal Hellsinger, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
I think Metal Hellsinger has a legitimate chance.
Yeah, I think Metal Hellsinger actually takes it.
That would be my vote, but I'm betting it because it's the least known out of the 5. It probably doesn't win. I'm
I
still
feel
gonna
like
vote
the
for it, though.
soundtrack is the most distinct, though, you know?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Metal Hellsinger. I could see it. All right, we have 4 categories left. Best art direction: Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon, Scorn, and
God.
Stray.
Scorn does have an interesting art direction.
It's arguably the only thing that's really solid the whole time. Is it solid enough that it takes it over God of War and Elden Ring?
I think he just goes to Elden Ring again.
I think it goes to Elden Ring again. I hesitated on
played
God of
Elden
War.
Ring?
Yeah, I
I
have.
could
That's why
see-
I
I
don't
could see
see
God
it
of
for
War.
art direction compared to some of these other ones. But the problem is that I forget when people are voting for this, they're dumb and they don't actually think about what the category is. They just go with Elden Ring had 4 colors in it. So that was kind of cool. Vote. I don't know. It's probably going to be Elden Ring. I'm going to say God of War.
Best narrative: Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon, and Immortality.
Why is Elden Ring in this list?
Because it's a Game of the Year nomination, so we're at the point where all of those are always going to be here forever now.
I don't know.
mean,
I don't know
I'm-
Immortality, but I'm gonna say God of War Ragnarok.
I'm gonna
I
say
mean,
God
I'm
of
on the
War.
side that, Elden Ring does have a narrative.
Yeah, of course it does, for sure.
It does, but it's the way it's paced compared to all these other ones. Like, I don't think it should be here.
I think I'll give it to God of War.
The narrative in it's actually quite good too. It's just that I don't think a lot of people play those games for that stuff, and I don't think a lot of people will pick up on a lot of it either.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, it's like a very subtle narrative. You have to kind of
Yeah.
pay attention to like the environments and stuff for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Best game direction: Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon, Immortality, and Stray.
This is Elden Ring, I think.
I think so as well.
What if we took the genre of game you like and made it big, like Breath of the Wild game direction?
Yeah, probably Elden Ring.
So you're saying Sonic Frontiers should be on this list?
Yeah.
Sonic
totally.
Frontier should have got something on. It's good enough that it should have got like a mention somewhere. Honestly,
Where would you mention it? What is it
I don't
doing
know.
great?
Best racing game. It's better than some of those.
All right, last category here: Game of the Year, Plague Tale, Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon, Stray, Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Elden
Some
Ring.
interesting choices on here.
Yep,
Come on, Stray, snipe them all.
that would be great.
I don't see how Stray gets on this list, but good for them. I'm good for Plague Tale. I don't see how it really got here either.
It's
funny,
Elden
like-
Ring or God of War. If it's
Totally.
neither of those, I'll be stunned legitimately.
I
I'm gonna say
would-
Elden Ring.
I would love if Stray won this. Holy shit. If Twitter's still alive and Stray won this, man.
People would lose
It
their
will
mind.
melt. Yeah.
People would lose. I'm gonna be there sitting in the theater watching this. I'm gonna get scared if that happens. I'm gonna have to cover my head.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Xenoblade is also like, congrats for making it on this list. I'm with John. It's God of War or it's Elden Ring, and the answer is Elden Ring.
I wrote Elden Ring down for myself as well.
Did you pick one, John?
I picked Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I just can't see it not taking this. All right. Come back in a few weeks and we'll see how we did.
Yep. There they are.
With that, let's get through some emails, questions real quick. topdownperspective@gmail.com is the email address, at TDP Podcast on Twitter for now, the Discord channel, or John's PO box.
Now.
Yeah, who knows? Every day, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Matthew writes, if you got a weapon as DLC, would you rather have the weapon in your inventory at the start of the game or unlock it after a certain point in the game?
Oh, certain point. 100%.
Certain point.
Why is that?
Because you want to at least learn the combat of the game. You don't want to be super overpowered right at the start. Give you a little bit to learn the mechanics of the game, then let you go nuts with it.
Yeah.
Unless
I
it's
agree.
just cosmetic. If it's just cosmetic, just give it to me immediately.
Sure.
If it's just cosmetic. But if it is like stats, like better stats, give it to me like after a little bit.
Similarly, in what situations would you prefer a DLC be available from the beginning versus requiring you to progress through the game to unlock it?
Cosmetic.
Just answered it.
Yep.
Yep.
Do you never want it to be at the beginning unless it's cosmetic? you're saying?
Never now and then I want to, but like I feel like in like a new game plus situation,
Yep.
sure, give me that.
Totally.
But like give me a little bit to learn the weapon first and then give me the super powered one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm kind of thinking like sometimes you'll get like a DLC, like an expansion, and it's like you can't play this until you've hit at least this story point.
Yeah.
Like you can't go to this area or whatever.
Yeah. Kevin writes, what are the best stories in video games? It's a big question.
It's a big question.
The good ones.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a good answer.
I mean, it's a big question, but luckily, we can just say Phoenix Wright.
They are
answer
the
the
best,
question.
best stories. That's
Then
true.
there's like 9 of them, so those are all the stories.
They're definitely pretty good stories. And they are definitely video games.
I don't even know how we answer this. I'm clearly a
big
fan of
question.
Phoenix Wright. Like, Elden Ring has a good narrative. Some might say, some might not.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Stray has a
3
cat
weeks.
in it. We will.
Oregon Stray was okay. This is like side stuff that was going on. What you actually do in
It's
the
like
game.
there's a
story is fine.
robot.
Yeah,
A couple of them
that's
are
fine.
playing chess. You can knock the pieces off and get a trophy.
Because you're a cat.
Okay, here's a way we could answer. Do you prefer a story that is kind of linear that you are uncovering that will barely ever change, or do you like something that is more interactive where when you do a decision or something, it will change an outcome that is like important in some way? Are the best stories interactive, or are they like being told to you and you're just kind of like a conduit for it?
I like both. If it's a
I
good
like-
written story, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like both. If it's a good written story, then I do like it being a bit more linear. But I enjoy being able to fuck with it a little bit too, or get it at like my own pace. Like, oh, I found this earlier, and this is a little piece I wouldn't have picked up otherwise. Those kind of situations.
Yeah. I've gone to the point where I like linear more. I just think a good, well-written linear story is what I'm here for, and I don't want to be able to fuck that up or something. Like, I just kind of want the good story. As long as the writing is good, I think I will always want the linear better, because I feel when they do the other one, and there's, like, trees going out, where it's like, well, if you choose this path and this, it usually ends up messy in the end, because it's too hard to write for if they go too big.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like if they do have branching narratives, it is harder. But
Yeah.
they can, as long if they're writing it well, it can still
Yep.
work. As long as they're not screwing it up, it can still work. But yes, it's harder because they can't craft everything. They have to take so many variables into situations, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, next one comes from VGC Kenny, who writes, do you ever worry that a game you really like and recommend highly will not be received well by others? I feel like I've been the one that has had that happen to them. Like, people recommend a game to me, and I'm like, nah, it's all right. I wasn't into it.
No, I
don't
don't
worry
care,
about
because
this.
fuck them. Like, what do I care? If you don't enjoy
mean,
something,
I'm not-
that sucks, but, like, I did, so I don't care.
I'm a kind of a more like level-headed version of that, where it's like I don't care if you dislike it, I like it, and it's not going to take away from me. I'm
Yeah.
an adult, and you're an adult probably, and we have separate lives.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I think worrying about it not being received well by others is a bit bad. Like, I feel like that shouldn't hinge on anything for you, but I can get being like, oh man, like I felt like I had it. I felt like this was something I knew you'd like.
sure.
Sure.
I mean, there is an aspect of like, you're feeling positive about something, and when everyone else is feeling negative about it, that can be a bummer, especially if you're trying to look for like, camaraderie in this, like you wanted to share it. But at the end of the day, like, you should be able to enjoy your own stuff and feel fine about it.
For sure. Yeah.
Suku comes in with a would you rather. Would you rather all games ever will be digital? No physical copies will exist. Whatever theoretical money you would save on not paying exorbitant secondhand rates applies, but there will not be any resale possible. All the games are available at any time, barring studios going bankrupt. Or all games ever have a physical copy. More of it will exist in accordance to the shift in philosophy, but some games will still be extremely hard to get.
Oh, okay. That's it. Okay. I mean, the first one, I just prefer all digital because I hate having shit everywhere.
I'm also all digital, especially because there's like, I don't see a downside to that one, and there's a downside baked into the physical version of this Would You Rather.
Yeah, the physical downside is pretty big.
Yeah, as the game collector in the room, I think with no real restrictions, if every game was digital or every game was physical, that'd be good. But we still have the limitation of physical, like being hard to find at times. So yeah, I will say I'd be okay with all digital.
I mean,
Imagine all the wall space I would have.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I was just talking to Paul earlier. I pre-ordered a physical copy of Pokemon because it was like 20% off. It's not showing up until Tuesday.
Same
So
here. I ordered the double pack and I'm not getting it till Tuesday. Thanks, Amazon.
So I am
Bummer.
buying a digital one tomorrow and selling that one to someone else when I get back from Thanksgiving. Like, I don't have time to wait a week. Are you kidding me? Look at me.
Yeah, especially because you're going to be traveling. Like, it's a perfect time to be able to play a little bit every now and then when you're on your trip or whatever. So Dead writes, you get a month of unlimited access to every game ever released. What do you play? God of War came
because
out.
that's just it.
Yeah, Picross.
I was just about to say, Paul, I'm playing God of War right now. I'm gonna probably keep playing that. Maybe I'll play some McPixel 3.
Yeah. I do love that. Like, this is basically just like, you get a month of unlimited access to every game ever released. Video people, look at John's background. Like, he already has that.
That's the other thing is it's like, yeah, have you seen my backlog? Like, there's already a lot of stuff that's on my priority list. Like, I'm not sitting here being like, that one game that got away. It's like, I got 8 games that I'm dying to play right now.
Yeah, but what if your backlog was infinite instead of a few thousand?
You know what? It is infinite. At this point, games come out every single day.
That's true.
I'm already never beating all my games in my lifetime, so like I've given up.
Yep.
I'm 3D Homer says, the wayward gamer walks into his local Steam video game bodega and sees at the front of the store a display with the following 10 new and trending games. Please provide him guidance in how to spend his valuable gaming dollar by ranking them in a definitive tiered list. Good.
Okay.
That picture was so tiny I could not tell what it was.
Thank you for making that bigger.
But now it's all blurry that I made it bigger. So you still
I
have to
see
kind of
McPixel
squint.
3. I see the Bible.
Yeah, they released the Bible on Steam recently.
Oh, finally.
Hey, it's a 33% off.
The Oregon Trail, a new version of it.
Yep.
Only FAP Simulator 4. Tactics Ogre Reborn.
Okay.
Jabroni Brawl Episode 3.
That's free for what it's worth.
Shadows
Okay, good.
Over Loathing.
Oh.
Atari 50th, the Anniversary Collection. Cosplay Simulator.
What? Okay.
Okay. You're just,
And
like, dressing people up.
and Sex Chess.
Oh, shit.
All right.
How much does he have to spend?
Pixel 3 is number 1, right?
Well, have you seen Only Fap Simulator 4? That's the
No,
good
I'm
one.
still working my way
I
through.
feel like Jabroni Brawl Episode 3 is the first one because it's literally free. It won't cost them anything.
Yeah, you just pick that up and walk out shamefully.
Well, that one that's like a pack-in. It comes with every purchase. They'll just throw it in there.
I mean, I wasn't interested in it, but I think you guys sold me on Atari 50, the anniversary.
Atari 50 is so cool. I would put McPixel 3 first. I would probably do McPixel 3, Atari 50, Tactics Ogre. That's like my top 3.
Because well, it also helps that those are like the 3 like actual games on this list.
Yeah. Yes, that also helps.
You guys don't like the Loathing games, that West of Loathing or whatever? This is a follow-up to it.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I just had no idea.
Yeah, that's fair.
I assumed it was something like I also don't know what the Bible is, so I just kind of lumped it in with that.
Well, let me tell you about this thing called church.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want any emails. I'm not going to comment.
Yeah,
like, if it was me, like I've already purchased Atari, so I kind of made my choice. I'm very excited to play some McPixel 3.
Yeah,
there's my input.
Yeah, McPixel, Atari, Tactics Ogre. Sure, let's show Shadows Over Loathing. Let's throw in Oregon Trail.
Sure.
Jabroni Brawl. Sure. The Bible. Sure. Only FAP Simulator 4. Sure.
That's the
Cosplay
good one.
Simulator. Sure. Sex Chess. Sure.
Made 4 attempts and then came out with a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell because there's the squirt emoji right after that.
Oh, that is what that's called, isn't it?
It's part of the title.
I hate everything.
Hebrew Lantern writes, has someone ever mistaken you for someone else you knew?
No.
This happened this past weekend. The guy, the co-creator of Warp World and Crowd Control, Jaku, was also at the event. He got mistaken for me at least 7 times during the event, and I got mistaken for him at least 3 times.
Your hair isn't as red, though. I don't... What?
It depends on the lighting, though. That's the thing.
The
So
lighting,
the two of us were standing next to each other having a conversation, and Gerard and Adam Cole both stared at us like, what the fuck are you guys doing? You look like twins. We both had long hair. We both had glasses. We both had light, thin hoodies. and we both had blue shirts on. We basically could not have synchronized our outfits any better than we had.
All right,
Weird.
nice. My answer is no.
No. Rasterman writes, what is your least favorite year in gaming from this century? As in the one you liked least for whatever reason in relation to the gaming industry.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Last year.
2020 was pretty bad for,
I don't even
everything being pushed back because of
I have to
delays and stuff.
I have to look at my game of the year lists.
Yeah, I don't. What if I just
not
Google
showing up for some reason?
Worst year in gaming? The gaming crash
every year.
Oh, wait, this decade. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm like trying to think of what I even had for my game choices the past few years.
There's a bunch of articles saying, was 2021 the worst year ever for gaming? And like, I think no, but
no, I have some amazing games
actually,
in my game list.
2020 was awesome, dude. That was Hades. That was Ghost of Tsushima. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2.
Animal Crossing, New Horizons,
Yeah,
Ori and the
that
Will
was
of
a
the
great year.
Wisps.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
What's a year we never think about? Was 2015 any good? Gaming in 2015.
Not there yet.
Let me see what my 2015 list was. My number one game was Final Fantasy Record Keeper. Let's see. 2015 had Mario Maker 1, Axiom Verge, Undertale, Splatoon 1, Rocket League, Batman Arkham Knight, Mortal Kombat 10, Crypt of the Necrodancer. There's a bunch of good games in that list.
Yeah, Dallas the Dark Call. Shovel Knight? Was that year?
I thought Shovel Knight was before that.
That was before that.
It was not that year.
Yeah, that was just released.
2015 is kind of weak, like
overall.
For me, like some of these games on here. Like it's definitely a lot of games that I just like don't even think about. The mobile game Lifeline.
I mean, The Witcher 3 was like incredible. That was that year. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's like a year I hated in the last decade for gaming.
Well, I mean, this says last century though, which would be the last 2 decades.
Oh, then my least favorite is probably the year that like everything almost crashed in the 80s.
No, like as in like 2000 onwards.
Yeah, 2000. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I have lists
from 2000, like 1 or 2 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I started making lists around like 08 or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm just gonna say 2015, I guess.
I can't come up with a good answer, so I guess I'll also say 2015, but there are a bunch of good games that I liked on here too.
2006.
Undertale came out that year.
Undertale's that year, yeah.
What came out in 2006?
I don't know, because I was playing a lot of raiding and WoW, so that's probably my personal worst year in gaming, that I wasn't caught up with like actual things going on for a long time.
Twilight Princess, Gears of War, Elder Scrolls 4, Okami, Guitar Hero 2, Final Fantasy 12,
that's a good Guitar Hero.
Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, Rainbow Six Vegas 1, Splinter Cell Double Agent, New Super Mario Brothers, Burnout Revenge, Elite Beat Agents, Tekken 5, Dark Resurrection, Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition, and Disgaea.
I wouldn't say any of those blew me away, actually. That might legitimately be like my answer. Then.
I mean, Guitar Hero 2 was my first Guitar Hero, so that's
I see Burnout Revenge. I have to automatically say that year ruled.
Fair.
And Gears of War. So
Gears of War was very good.
The first Gears of War is not great.
It was pretty good.
I still think it was good. They definitely got way better,
yeah,
but I think the first one's still good.
And Mick Pixel.
All right, John, you got this next one from the Phantom Aegis.
Phantom Aegis writes in and says, "Ahoy, TDP crew. Are there any games you think you would have liked more if they came out when you were a child? All of them."
Yeah.
Because I would have had time to play them.
It's a lot more RPGs for sure. I bet there was some. Yeah. I bet I wouldn't have been into Elden Ring as much. I bet I probably wouldn't have played it as a kid. It would have been too hard.
I already would have played all the Xenoblade games because I would have had free time.
Probably would have played the Xenoblade games for sure. Yeah.
Yep. liked more if they came out when I was a child.
Anybody?
Yeah, kind of with the everything.
Well, there's also the fact that like as children, you just have like more emotions.
Yeah,
You know?
I probably would have been more into Mega Man 9, 10, and 11 because I was super into that shit as a kid. So like if those came out back then, I would have been absolutely floored that more of that was coming out.
And last question from Linebeck: what's a game that you really like, but you feel that you cannot recommend it to a majority of people because it fills a very particular gameplay mechanic niche or is jank in such a way that you believe only you and very few others would enjoy?
God Hand.
That's
God
John's
Hand.
answer.
I was gonna say Dare Live Extreme Beach Volleyball, but I just
Yep.
think that's a funny answer more than anything. So yeah, God Hand would be my actual answer.
Also, anything with tank controls. I grew up with tank controls, and I absolutely love them because I have the feel for them. I don't recommend people that don't have the hang of those to play those games.
I'll say Valhalla or Coffee Talk. You know, it's a
Okay.
visual novel, but you also have to like make them drinks.
Sure.
That's going to do it for this week's questions. Again, topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast, on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What's your game of the week?
That I played McPixel 3. That I saw the event Gestalt.
Nice. I'm going to have to say God of War. Two great
I'm also
games.
going to say
but-
God of War.
Yeah.
I meant to say this at the beginning. Some housekeeping. The December TDP Plus submission thread is live, so if you would like to submit a game to go on the poll next week, you can do that now on the Patreon. And if you are a TVP listener, our episode about Black Panther Wakanda Forever went up earlier this week. So go give that a listen.
Yeah.
We will see you guys next week. Thanksgiving episode. Have a good one.
Bye.